I am desperate. Please help me and tell me what you want. Hello and welcome back. This is my second time. That's 4. This is my second time filming this video, and this is a video where I want to get a little bit personal. Toe cramp. And this is a video where I really want to get personal with you all because this is about me, you, and this channel. So I've been on YouTube since July 2010 officially, and that's a very, very long time to be on YouTube. For the first 3, 4, 5 years, probably more like 4 or 5, I was mainly a makeup guru on YouTube. And that's an industry that kind of I apologize if you hear the construction that's going on over there. Neighbors moved out and now they're redoing that apartment so people can move in. I can't hear it, but sometimes I can feel it. #dad problems. So with the makeup industry, it kind of helps you and kind of tells you what kind of content you can create because products are always coming out, so you can review something, you can do a tutorial with something. But I changed that about 2014, 2015 for many reasons. I was getting bored, and as I also felt like content wasn't coming to me only because doing something like that is a financial suck. These products are not cheap, so I couldn't afford to keep constantly buying products and make content with. And, I wanted to do something different, so I thought, why not be more of a lifestyle vlogger and also talking about being deaf, which eventually rolled into talking about being disabled in general with chronic pain coming up, and then I opened up about mental health, and now being part of the LGBT community, being bisexual, talking about child abuse and body image and things like that. Obviously, I am more known as the YouTuber who talks about being deaf and who talks about closed captioning, and I have eventually become more of an education channel than a lifestyle vlogger. And I was thinking about where I wanted to take this because 10 years is a long time, and in 10 years, you as a creator, but also your audience kind of expect you and want you to kind of grow in your content. So for example, Shane Dawson, I don't keep up with him very much, but I do know that his content has changed over the past, he's probably been on YouTube for as long as I have, but he's changed his content so much and people have been impressed with him because of that. Me, I'm becoming less than impressed with myself because I'm not really changing my content because I kind of just became that person who was always talking about being deaf and closed captioning and the importance of it. Did I ever expect myself to suddenly become this person that could afford a whole team like Lily Singh and be able to make like these really fancy cinematic videos? No, that's not who I am, and I don't think that's ever going to be who I am in terms of a content creator on YouTube. But I still wanted to do something different and just grow in terms of my content, and that's why I was talking about mental health and whatnot, just trying to branch out in terms of my topics in hopes for more opportunities because this is one of the things that I do for a living, right? Last year during the fall, my channel kind of got hit with some not so great things, and that's when I started to panic. I started to worry, and I thought, what is it that I am not doing? What is it that I need to do to make sure you all are entertained? Because I want to educate you, which I think that part I do a decent job at doing, but am I entertaining you all enough and giving you enough of me? And so I was asking you all on the community tab what you wanted, and I got some good answers, and I started implementing that kind of stuff. I moved away from the other background near the computer that wasn't very personal and moved here, and you all seemed to like that a little bit better, and I also tried to... Honestly, actually, I don't think I've done much else. But let's go over the things that I've been doing to try to, at least what I plan to do. I may not have implemented everything yet, but this is what I have planned to do. I bought new equipment. I bought a GoPro because I had this idea of doing a Can Deaf People, and I was going to actually act out some things, and one of the things is driving, and I was gonna have the GoPro, and I have the chesty thing, and I was gonna put that on and, you know, demonstrate that, because I'm not gonna be that person that drags this vlogging camera around and drives with one hand. But, you know, just other things that I could use that for. So traveling things, you know, like examples, going through the airport. Although I feel like if I went through TSA with a GoPro on my chest, they would be very concerned, so maybe I can't do that. But maybe I can find other things to use for that. I got new audio, which I have not implemented because audio is the least important in my mind, only because I can barely hear myself as is, so I can't tell the difference between what is good audio and what is bad audio. But I still have a new mic, and eventually, maybe by the end of this month, I will learn how to use that mic so we can make this better. I have a green screen, you can't see it. My boyfriend made it for me for Christmas, and, well, okay, to be honest, the only real reason I haven't tried using it is because there's simply no room between this chair and my bed, but somehow I want to make that work. So that's just a couple upgrades that I had in mind, but now I want to ask you if you would be okay with me doing 3 videos a week versus 2, maybe not every single week, but as much as possible. Because what I wanted to try to do is be able to show you a little bit more me without all the education and, I guess, stiffness. So, or maybe I could do some sort of an educational type video, but be less stiff about it. Because I had a friend on Twitter, when she was giving me feedback, tell me that I am a bit aloof. And I was slightly offended when I looked up the definition, because one of the synonyms was being an asshole, and that's kind of not what I want to be. But she was like, no, not like that, just like more like standoffish, I guess, like I'm hiding something apparently, which aren't we all hiding something? We're all keeping secrets, but you know. But also my boyfriend told me, and he was relaying this information for someone else, and they said that I am not as funny in my videos as I am in like real life, or like say on Twitch, because Twitch is more personal and it's live. Or maybe it wasn't that I just wasn't funny at all, it's just that my personality on YouTube is very, very different from Twitch and, you know, real life. Like, I don't know, maybe I just end up being more naturally funny in real life. That's probably what it is. And, you know, I was thinking about all this because also my friend was telling me to smile more and whatever, things like that. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, it's really hard to do that with the type of content that I have. So, for example, if I'm gonna make a video about depression or child abuse, that's not something that's, funny. So I probably wouldn't be, you know, like, whatever when it comes to that. But if I just had other videos that show my personality better, maybe that would work out. And that's what I wanted to bring up. I wanted to do more actual lifestyle content of me, like, going out, maybe, something like that, or just doing other things. So, like, for example, I wanted to talk about veganism more, maybe, so maybe, like, showcasing what I eat in a day or something. I don't really know, just... Or even if I were to just sit down here and talk and have a chit-chat with you all, you know, I have this coffee here. That's disgusting now because it's near the bottom where all the stuff is. And just be more chill. So I was thinking maybe on a Sunday, which is when I plan to have this up, maybe on a Sunday have one of those more actual lifestyle kind of content, and then maybe on a Tuesday do the more educational content. I have an awkward encounters with hearing people video that's coming out probably after this, and then on Sunday do the get to the point videos and Film Fridays videos. So I'm wondering if maybe that's something that you all would like. I know lots of people do separate channels for different things, but if I made this channel with the intent of lifestyle content and a mixture of different things, why do I want to put in the work to create an entirely separate channel? Because then that's twice the work, you know, trying to make all the graphics for that, plan that out, and just make that grow, because that's starting from the very bottom, and it took so long for this channel to get to where it is now that I don't know if, with the chronic pain and everything, just don't know if I have the spoons to do that separately. Maybe if it was an entire vlog channel, but I don't want to be a vlog channel, like a daily vlog channel. So let me know what you think about that, because I do know that when I did try to branch out and do some other types of videos, people went and left, and that is kind of scary. One thing I know that more people definitely want is more ASL videos, and I completely understand, because I would be talking about learning ASL, but I don't really implement it in my channel too often, and I'll tell you why. I think I mentioned this before, but this is gonna be why I want to do this type of content. I am much more confident, much more natural and comfortable using ASL in a more casual environment. So when I'm with my deaf friends, or even if I'm working, more like one-on-one conversation, not with panels as you've seen in my last video, I'm just more comfortable using it casually. When I'm using it for the camera, I get very nervous, I get very robotic, and people notice that my signing isn't as fluid as, say, in real life. But that's why I want to make the more casual type of content. If I'm out and about, you know, I'm more natural with my hand movements. I mean, I'm still clunky at times because my brain and my fingers don't connect very well. But it's much easier for me to do it with that than, say, if I'm making a video about mental health and depression. Like, my brain doesn't really know the vocabulary for that yet, or talking about closed captioning and all the technical stuff. Like, I'm good with casual sit-down conversation. I can't be a teacher in a completely different language, because something is going to get lost in translation eventually. I mean, I know I did that 15-minute presentation at Gallaudet in ASL, and if you can survive Gallaudet, you can survive anything else. But, you know, so I know I want to do more of that, and I think this is a good way to do that. So yeah, I think that just about covers everything. I really don't want to film this a third time, so if I can think of anything else, I'll try to, like, leave it in the description box if there's more information that I want to tell you. You know, let me know what you want, what types of content you enjoy seeing from me, some content that you don't really care as much to see. I completely know and understand that not every single subscriber watches everything. I know, because the view subscriber ratio on any channel, on pretty much every channel, is just very far apart. But, you know, feedback. I am someone who doesn't take constructive criticism or anything along the lines of that very well, because I get scared, I get paranoid, and I just want to make everybody happy. That is impossible, but I swear, in the back of my head, it's in there and I'm thinking about it. I don't like confrontation. That's what it is. But yeah, so, you know, let me know what your thoughts are, and let's do this together. As always, I very much appreciate you watching, and if you want to help translate this video, I'll have a link to do that in the description box, possibly in the pinned comment, so that's always extremely helpful. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye!